Hi. So today my topic is five dysfunctions of a team. Basically, what I'm going to talk is why the team fails and how we as a team can perform better, can be effective. And the base is taken from a very good bestseller from Patrick Lencioni. The name is Five Dysfunctions of a Team, a Leadership Fable. Let's understand this word, very important. What is dysfunction? Dysfunction is a simple something which does not function as expected. When we work as a team or even we take any instrument, the instrument do not perform, we say it is dysfunctioning. Or similarly, applying this concept to the team, when the team doesn't perform, we can say it's a dysfunction of team or dysfunctional team. But before we get to the things, let's understand one topic: why the organizations fail to perform. Take any example, take any organization in the world. There is not a single organization which fails to perform. No organization fails to perform. It is the team who fails to perform. It is the team in that organization which fails to perform, and we say the organization fails. When maybe the same team performs well, they achieve the results, we say the organization achieve the result. The reason the organization is being represented by that team. So basically, it's a team. What Patrick Lencioni says, there are five dysfunctions of a team. Why team fails to perform? Let's look at these five dysfunctions. Number one, he says the absence of trust. There is a fear being vulnerable with the team members, and that fear prevents the building of the trust within the team. When there is no trust, when there is an absence of trust, definitely the teamwork is not happening. And because the teamwork do not happen, the team fails, the team starts dysfunctioning. Two is the fear of conflict. There is a desire to preserve the artificial harmony. Many times, whenever there is a fear of conflict among the team member, when one team member thinks that, okay, I should not get into conflict with the other team member, he gets that fear. And still, there is a desire to preserve the artificial harmony, and that stifles the occurrence of productive ideological conflict. People try to avoid the conflict. And when they try to avoid the conflict, they do not speak up. And when they do not speak up, then the whole thing gets shadowed by one guy or his concepts. And that is where the team starts dysfunctioning. Number three is lack of commitment. The lack of commitment from the team members or binds that we just accept whatever is said, that prevents the team members from making the decisions they will stick to. Why it prevents? Because there is no commitment, they do not take the decision is left to someone else, maybe within the team, someone who takes the lead, or maybe the decision comes from outside the teams, or maybe it's a reactive decision to the situation. And this lack of commitment is the third reason or third dysfunctions of a team. Number four is the avoidance of accountability. People try to avoid the accountability. They do not want to be accountable. And the need to avoid the interpersonal discomfort prevents the team members from holding one another accountable. When someone makes other guy accountable, there is a risk of interpersonal discomfort. And if someone try to avoid this risk or this interpersonal discomfort, that will prevent the team members from holding one another responsible. Number 5 is inattention to the results. A pursuit of individual goals and personal status erodes the focus of collective success. Many times the team means TEAM, together everyone achieves more. But if there are personal individual goals, if there are personal status which overrides the team goal, then there will be always distraction from the results. There will not be attention to the results, and that inattention to the results is the fifth dysfunctions. So look at these dysfunctions. If any one of these is present in the team fails. If there is an absence of trust, if there is a fear of conflict, if there is a lack of commitment, if there is an avoidance of accountability from the team members, and if there is an inattention to the results, the team fails to perform. And when the team fails to perform, it's organization which fails to perform. So look at these 5 dysfunctions, how it works. The absence of trust, why it is important? Because without trust, there can be no conflict. If there is no trust, there will not be any conflict. Trust has to be there. When there is a trust and you have the fear of conflict, then also it's a problem, because without conflict, there is no commitment. When there is no commitment, commitment is important. Without commitment, there is no accountability. And without accountability, there is no result. So look at this now. Absence of trust, fear of conflict, lack of commitment, avoidance of accountability, inattention to the results. We just look from the other angle. Without trust, there can be no conflict. Without conflict, there can be no commitment. Without commitment, there can be no accountability. And without accountability, there can be no results. So let's look at how Patrick has put this into the work. On, on the left side, you can see all these 5 dysfunctions: the trust, conflict, commitment, accountability, and results. The team, when the trust is absent, the weaknesses and mistakes are concealed. The constructive feedback is withheld and meetings are viewed as a dead. When the trust is present, weaknesses and mistakes are shared with the team members. It helps, the help is offered freely without hesitation. Meetings are viewed positively. When there is a conflict fear among the team member, the meetings are boring. They ignore the controversial topics which is critical to success, neglect the opinions and perspectives of the colleague. And the team that engage into conflict has lively and interesting meetings. They put the critical topic on the table for discussion, solicit and exploit the ideas of all the team members. When there is a lack of commitment among the team member, the team that fails to commit, it creates the ambiguity around the direction and the priorities. Excessive analysis and unnecessary delays, and reveals the discussion and decisions again and again. And the team that commits, that creates clarity, around direction and priorities. It takes the advantages of the opportunities, moves forward without hesitation. When the team members avoid the accountability, it encourages mediocrity. It misses the deadlines and the key deliverables. The team leader is the sole source of discipline. And when the team that keeps others accountable, it encourages excellence. The progress is reviewed very regularly. The team members, when appropriate, they police each other. A team that is not focused on the results are hidden and rarely reviewed. This kind of teams loses achievement oriented stuff and gets easily distracted. Whereas the team that is focused on the results are public and reviewed periodically. This kind of teams retains the achievement oriented stuff and avoids distraction. Look at this table carefully. On the left hand side, the teams which has all the 5 dysfunctions is a dysfunctional team, and the team which is exactly opposite do not have any of these dysfunction. They are highly performing teams. Okay, so how the leader should be acting in these cases and what are the hindrances? The 5 dysfunctions of the team summary is like this. When there is an absence of trust, the leader has to start from himself. Just go first. That's the first thing. When there is a fear of conflict, the hindrance is artificial harmony, and the leadership role is mine for conflict. So I'm there. Just start with me. Why there should be fear? Let's start. When there is a lack of commitment, the hindrance is ambiguity among the team members, and leadership role just force the clarity and closure. He has to make everybody committed. When there is an avoidance of accountability, the comfort confront the difficult issues, and that is what the leadership role. He should not have any hesitation to do this. The hindrance will always be low standard, and when there is an inattention to the results, the hindrance is the status and ego of the individual team members, and the leadership role should be focus on collective outcomes. It's not the individual. In a team, no single member is important. What is important? The team as a whole. That is what is important. So this is what is Patrick Lincoln's 5 dysfunctions. Inattention to results, force of, absence of trust, go first, fear of conflict, mind for conflict, lack of commitment, force clarity and closure, avoidance of accountability, confront the difficult issues, inattention to results, force the collective outcomes. And that's a you can see the dysfunctional team and the role of the leader if he sees any of this dysfunction. What Patrick says, trust is knowing that when a team member does push you, they are doing it because they care about you. Ego, personal ego is nowhere important. So remember, teamwork begins by building the trust. And the only way to do that is to overcome our need from invulnerability. And that is what all about these functions. Please do subscribe my channels and my social media. Thank you.